So I don't know what day it is. I think it's like the 21st or something of May. And we got about 120 acres of beans in the ground so far. And we're just getting started on corn. Our corn tractor, our corn planter tractor, I think the hydraulic pump went out in it, so we haven't got any in the ground. Just switched tractors from the soybean planter to the corn planter, and hopefully today we'll have some corn in the ground. I think we're supposed to see some rain over the weekend, so it's Friday. So I think we're gonna hit hard today and tomorrow and see how far we get. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get a couple hundred acres in the ground by the end of the weekend. So I'd come over and rob some parts for the sprayer so we can do some pre-emerge spray on our beans. Because I gotta get it done today, where we're at with it. When the beans come up, we gotta get it on. I'm about 150 acres ahead on tillage, so we got that going for us. And yeah, that's where we're at with everything. I should have the sprayer going here in the next hour. Hopefully the wind doesn't pick up too much. Alright, so we had one of my leaks on the sprayer was a cracked filter housing. So I went and got one last night. Well, you know, sometimes you get the wrong size, so we're going back to get. We found one fitting that would make it work, because it's the filter housing came off. It was a 3/4 inch, and I bought a 1 inch because that's all they had. And we thought it was 1 inch, but you know, that's neither here nor there. But anyways, I gotta go and get an elbow, and then I took care of the other 2 leaks. So yeah, we'll be all set to go, and we'll be spraying. Alright, so we're out spraying, and it's going, everything seems to be going good on the sprayer. First time out of the year, you know. Well, you have your nerves about you, I'm gonna say, if that's the right way to term that. I don't know. This morning went a little, got a little western, I'm gonna say. I now have 4 stitches in my arm, so yeah, it's been a little bit of a morning, I would say. I was trying to cut a hose with a knife, and when the knife went through the hose, it decided it also wanted to go in my arm, so that made a little bit of a mess, just a little bit, just enough to really make me nervous. When the gun starts shooting out, you kind of panic a little bit, put your hand over it, but luckily it was only a razor knife. Could do any, only so far. Any of you guys have ever messed with a razor knife, you know how they are. So I don't think I hit anything important. They just stitched me up and sent me on my way, so that's a good sign. We trying to stay on line here, a little off, but it's, yeah, everything's going. It's a little breezy out, but we're just spraying a fungicide, so I think it'll be all right. Yeah, so that's how today has gone. And we gotta come to an end here. So back up. Yeah, our stainless tank is holding up great. Not let me shift it yet, so that's a plus. Put it see if I can do this. I don't think you guys can see that screen at all, but now we're trying to jump lines to the next one, because that's got a little bit of stuff here. I'm trying to back it up. Usually just spin around at the end, but I'm sure I'm making you guys sick, because I'm making myself sick just watching what I'm doing with this camera. us at all. The snow was down yesterday, but we still got a little bit of stuff done. But we had some other stuff we had to get caught up on. So, yeah, we're just trying to get stuff done before the rain here. It's been an interesting day, to say the least. We ended up getting, I was going to spray this morning, and I was going across the field, and I'd already done 20 acres, and cruising right along, and all of a sudden I got to the end of the field and I went to go turn around, and I slowed down a little bit to turn, and there my sprayer sat, and it has not moved since. We don't 100% sure on what happened, but we're 99% sure it's the coupler for the hydraulic pump is what we think it is. We talked to some people that know a little bit more than we do about those sprayers, and they're like, yeah, that's probably what it is. Well, it turns out it's a $600 part, and there's only one left in the country, and it's in Kansas, and we are hoping to get it. It's Memorial Day weekend. We'd like to spray right now, but that's probably not going to happen. And so we're going to try getting this last field done before, I don't know what size this is. I got to adjust my disc blades, so hopefully it's one of these sizes. Uh-oh. That's too big. Ugh. That's the right size. We'll go back and get our impact now and start hammering on it. But yeah, we got 36 acres here that we're gonna try to. I think we're gonna have to work it twice. There's a lot of green out here. I'm adjusting these down because I adjusted them up the other day because we were in some really sandy ground. I didn't need them down. So I'm gonna take them down because we're back into some harder ground. This is some clay. This field actually's got a lot of variation to it. That whole lighter corner back up in here is all sand, so I don't know if this is the proper way to adjust these, but I think it works great, so we're going for it. But that corner's all sand. I didn't chisel plow it because it's sand, but the rest of this field I chisel plowed all the hard clay. I chisel plowed because it really needs to be worked better, so yeah, this thing just looks goofy. Why is it? It's got a flow to it, which it usually doesn't, so maybe it's just in a hole, I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna need to pick it up. Maybe that's what needs to happen, so I don't know. Yeah, my batteries are... Alright, hopefully this thing's not got something wrong with it. That'll be how the day went. Now that's got an issue. Yeah, anyways, let's see how today goes. It's already anyways, so also spread lime on it and plant it before 7 o'clock tonight because it's gonna rain at 7. Oh, well. Alright, so tractor's parked now. We didn't quite get it all worked. We got probably a third of it worked, really, is actually what we got. Grandpa broke down. I had to, since the sprayer broke down on me this morning, and it has atrazine in it, which is a pretty chalky, I'm trying to back up and not smash my truck into this thing. See, does anybody know why my camera's so blurry? Drives me nuts. So I really wish it wasn't quite that blurry. It's really hard to hook up to stuff. But since my sprayer broke down this morning on me with atrazine in it, I wanted to get that, all the nozzles washed out and the filters washed out with some regular clean water. So we had to take our fire truck. Yes, I know. I'm driving through a field. Do I really need a seatbelt? So, anyways, since that thing broke down, it's gonna be down for a couple of days. The part's in Kansas or something. So hopefully we can get those at some point soon. You know, we spent the extra money to hope it gets here by Saturday. But we got a few raindrops on the window, so I had to get fertilizer mixed up for Grandpa so he can keep planting. I had to rinse that out, get some water through it, so we had to take the fire truck out and do that. We had a bunch of other things we just hurry up and got done. And then he broke down. He wasn't putting any fertilizer down because he lost a shear pin, and so one of the chains fell off or something for the drives. So yeah, we were fixing that, or I've been fixing that. So now I'm just getting back over to the one farm and gonna get everything kind of put away over here before it rains, hopefully. And yeah, that's what we got going on. It's just, I don't know, we didn't get much done today, feels like, but we also did get a lot done. So I don't know, it's one of those days where you're doing stuff but you're not really getting a lot of stuff done. So yeah, anyways, let's move some stuff. This thing is probably the best running engine we got, in all honesty. 8.3 liters of fury, you know. Yeah. This thing, we've had it rebuilt, and before we rebuilt it, I mean, you could bump the key and it'd fire up. Wouldn't even crank over. And I think the compression came back. When we ran the compression test, it was like 120 psi, and I think the number I've heard is for diesels, it's 300 is really optimal, or if it's below 300 it's got issues. Well, I think the lowest was 120 and the highest was 230 or something, and that thing would fire right up. Nobody could understand why I did it, but that thing ran like a top. But yeah, that's the best run engine we got. That thing is fine there for now. It's this thing here that we need to try to get running, but I don't think it'll start. You know, ether babies. I like crackheads, but on ether. All right, let's see if we can get it. See if she fires. Come on, come on. I don't think she's gonna do it that way. Oh. I don't like to do this part. This part very much hurts me. She's got a little direct injection port right here. Just take this out, and then you go and cry for a little bit because you squirt it in there, and you run, jump in, and crank till she that hurts me every time. All right, so if you're wondering how this cab kit's holding up, everything's doing great. It's all still there. It's doing fine. The door seals, on the other hand, this one here, you can see a little floppy. I think it's because this door actually needs to be slid back like this or something. I don't know. It's a little irritating that it did that. It's broken all the clips from the top to the bottom. So, you know, some people might say, well, why do you even use that door? There's no steps. Well, because you've got to have your glow plugs in a can here to start this thing. And usually it takes two people to do it because one person's crank and the other one starts. It's easy to communicate while you're through that door. This door, on the other hand, seems to be holding up just fine, so that's a plus. Yeah, other than that, cab kit's doing fine. We did figure out that this thing had no cabin air filters in it, and that is part of the reason why last year when we fixed the AC, it always, after like 3 days of running, it would just start pouring water out of this because when you're sucking in dust, the vent tubes with the water create mud, and then when you stop for a day, it then plugs up and turns into like cement, and then you have nothing. You have no drainage for anything. So let's see if I can remember how to do it. I don't want that gear. So then it just becomes like a pool, and then all of a sudden it just starts blowing out. And yeah, so that's kind of frustrating. But we besides for that, it's fine. Let's see now. This is where I want to park it. I think. Just like this. It'll stay. Don't move. You're out of gear. You're fine. Power switch is shut off. Also, that planer we went and picked up does great. We've done, I don't know, 120 acres with it, and we've had 2 issues with it, I'd say. Corn planer, on the other hand, breaks every day, every couple hours. That's one thing I'd really like to get rid of. I'd really like that corn planer to go bye-bye. I'd like to get a nice center fill. Nothing fancy, just a center fill with a little less acres on it, or not so many, or some better taken care of acres, I should say. That thing has been abused and abused and abused, and then we ended up with it because we did. That's how it worked out. It was one of those deals where the guy traded us a planter for some stuff, and it was a 12 row, and it was better than our 8 row, because then we turned that 8 row into a 12 row to plant beans with. So we planted with last year and a couple of years before that. So this one works. It plants corn, but it's wore out, so it doesn't really plant that good of corn, which I think is part of the issue with a lot of our stuff. But yeah, I mean, you know, you got to do what you can do with what you got. It takes time to get stuff fixed and upgraded and done. Everything costs money. So when that money tree comes into bloom, I'll show you guys that. But until then, you know, let's keep doing what we got to do.